Welcome back to PCM Yeti, episode 100. It's the century mark, and it's a great episode to be starting one of the Grand Tours. The unfortunate part is this is our weakest team for a Grand Tour. This is our sprint team, but we're going to actually get a lot of opportunities here, and 7 are the ones where I have very little faith in us as a capable sprint team. But there are 5 additional stages that are a bit more punchy with climbs just before the finish, like stage number 1, where you can see we've got a little bit of a hill just on your way before that finish line, and the extra layer of terrain is going to give us the opportunity, I'd say 5 times out of 12, to maybe get a win. I think our odds are a bit better for those 5 occasions versus the 7 pure flat occasions. But overall, that's still 12 opportunities to try to secure a win at this Giro. We got one last year with a very similar type approach to what we have right now. The team, everybody has the objective. The only negative that we have is day 1. Harasim has no boost because his motivation is low. I'm sure that will be fixed by day 2 when he has the joy and excitement of, oh, I'm at a Grand Tour. They wait until after day 1 for that to kick in. So that'll kick in and he should be normal by day 2, I would assume. Abdullah is the closest to a fitness peak. He will hit that very early on. Others are going to be coming on a lot later. Frisalam's definitely going to hit it before the end of the first week. I worry, though, about just how low everybody else is on those meters, and it might not be until the final few days, which of course the final days are where there's a lot of climbs and less opportunities. Even though we're going to do 12 of 21 stages from stage 14 to the end, so the final third, only 3 days in that range, and one of them we might not even do. Stage 19 is medium mountain, and we might just hold off on that one if the little bit of climbers that we have are done and over it and not feeling it and not getting good race day conditions anymore. Stage number 1, the breakaway is down to just 2 riders, and they're split apart and they're not that far ahead. We've got 40k to go. This is one of those shorter stages, so it's a little more hectic. We've got a lot of our team back in the front positions, good to go, but there are some guys that did drift over the climbs, making their way back up there as we try to conserve some energy. Frisalam and Shah are back in position nearly. Harasim and Vasilevsky not quite back there yet. I've got them working a little bit harder to try to get in position. We've got a short little punchy climb right here, right now, and it is difficult, and we are seeing, I thought I put Vasilevsky up to a 90. I thought Shaw was the one I had put up to an 88, but I guess not. There we go. He's going to get over the top there. We're going to now have to increase that effort even harder, faster for the moment. There's been a lot of yo-yoing in the groups as we come up on the final categorized climb of the day. It's a category 2. Water's already done, and these guys need to up their effort. Let's get them up to about a 91 and get Shaw up to 95. He's close to getting dropped. These guys off the back may not get back in contact. This is looking kind of like the kind of point in time where getting dropped here would just about do you in. Shaw, go ahead and give a 99 as well. This is max effort territory. Breakaway has been caught, 144 left, but no lift in tempo. These guys are hanging on okay. The sport riders, we've got the descent to get the red bar back, but it's really important to still be more or less in position and definitely to be in the group, as I don't think there's going to be long enough for groups to regain contact, meaning proper sprinters very well could be ruled out of contention for the stage, and then it's going to come down to somebody with a punch/sprint combo claiming victory on this first stage. First stage, of course, comes with a jersey. Definite added bonus as Frisalam and Shaw. They are still technically in the group, but they are right at the tail end of it. 101 left. And Vasilevsky and Harasim very much have been dropped here. Just get them both on auto. They're well behind on these two. I mean, we're talking 99 effort. Shaw. There's the first sign of a 99 effort. It's just hard. His downhill rating is so poor, so it's going to be really hard for him to get back up in a position. But we certainly hope that he can do so. Right now, he keeps going backwards just because he's not great technically. Free Salam, do the work. There's already a split anyway. These guys are a group behind the group. Work hard, try to get back up there, but yeah, I don't think he's going to, which means we're going to have 4 guys, and we're already down to 12k, so yes, we're definitely not going to get these 2 back in. Let's put them on auto and focus on these guys. G will be the first one. Let's get him to gel up now. He'll lead out Abdullah, and then we'll ride for Lind, who will lead out for pick roll, or should I? No, G is not a sprinter anymore. That second group came back. Now Free Salam and Shaw are not that far behind, but they're all the way at the back of the group. Can we maybe get them up there? And now they're going to pull more guys, so no. It's not worth it to get Shaw up there. 7.7k, it's time. And away we go. One last little hill to navigate. And for now, the focus is still being in a good position and trying to get through that hill. It's not about breaking off. We definitely, with what we have here, the sprint is the ideal scenario, and G is going to get us well positioned here. One rider left off front, but just barely. G, 99 for a moment, and we'll switch to Abdullah when we have to. It's only 3.8, so he's got to go, but he can't destroy Lind and Pickerel, but he gets us out front, which is what we needed. 3.2, gel for those guys, and we are going to be perfectly placed for Abdullah to accelerate here and start sprinting. G, try to follow. 1.6 with coming out in a really good position, and it's actually Lind who's in the best spot. Pickerel, Van Eetveld on our wheel, Bernal, and then we're seeing a definite split here to Walter and G. G, I want you to just follow Walter. Make him do the work. Do I want Pickerel to back off and set? I'm going to have Pickerel back off. As Abdullah is leading out Lind right now. Abdullah done with his sprint. On to Lind. Now we can tell Pickerel to sprint. Angie, for that matter. I do not think that Bernal is going to be a threat with his top pace or where he's from. Van Eetveld does not have great pace, but neither does Lind, because Pickerel is, been left behind. So Lind goes to the front. Will he get his first victory for the team? He does. He snowballs for the team for the very first time, and he will wear the jersey. He will wear the pink jersey. He is the leader of the Giro d'Italia, and we've succeeded right off the bat in stage number 1 in one of those 5 better looking opportunities. The lead out was done perfectly. The other guys were weakened and the sprinters weren't around, so without the sprinters around, simply having a lead out was enough. And I took advantage of the fact that things were stretched, and when they were stretched, I didn't want to do all the work for other guys who were then going to take advantage and beat us. We had that little bit of a gap, and I took advantage of it, and it gave us a 1-2 finish. Pickerel takes 5th to add into it. G gets 13th, but Kevin Lind has won a stage of the Giro d'Italia. We're going to have to snowball here, but I'm going to have to rework it because we're back into the Pop 6 group. So we have 9 nations to roll for. 7 of them are either a 6-3 or a 6-4 nation. The 2 outliers, Norway at 6-5, would obviously be the preferred role, but Uruguay at 6-1 is the one to avoid. Almost Norway, but it looks like it's going to roll off into Germany, and it does. So Germany at 6-4 is still a great addition. Obviously, one of the premier nations of cycling, but they're in a little bit of a down period in real life as some of their recent greats have retired of late and haven't quite had the next great German cyclist to come along. So regardless, at 6-4, it's still a really strong nation. So it's a very welcome addition. And what a great way to start the Giro. We win stage number 1. We have 2 of 3 of the best riders for Estonia, but it is the best rider, with Lind and Puck being those 2 guys with that flat rating that have a very similar type acumen. But it's Mikkels. Mattis Mikkels has claimed a number of victories that has seen Estonia go from a 3-3 nation to a 5-3 nation. But with that victory, Lind is the first time winner who has now pushed Estonia to a 6-3 nation. And it's not actually his very first victory. He has won the time trial for Estonia once before, stage number 1 just now, but he also did win a single stage of the Olympias Tour back in 2027, where he also claimed the under-25s jersey and took 2nd overall in that race. But that was a .2 race. Not exactly a prestigious victory. This clearly goes down as the biggest win of his career. With a medium mountain and mountaintop finish for stage number 2, the jersey is gone very quickly. Moving over to Riccitello, Higuita moves into the race lead ahead of Vingegaard and Steinhauser, though, as we had blown up the race and a lot of riders lost time in that first stage. Derek G sits 10th overall inside 1 minute. We are definitely not here for GC, though, so with that we now have the freedom to continue pursuing stages, beginning with stage number 3. A quick glance at the profile here for stage 3 makes it look like it's going to be straightforward, but when you look closer, there's some climbs on the way to the finish, especially one right before the finish that will be pivotal. There is no breakaway. We're already down to just the entire peloton, though a group actually just yo-yoed off the back a moment ago, might regain contact. But today is a sprinter's opportunity, but you've got to handle it really well to be able to win it. So we're going to try to get through this first climb here in just a moment without too much fuss. It's quite short. There's a sprint right at the end of it, but I'm not going to bother with it. And I'm tempted to kind of roll down and save that energy, but we seem to be okay. 1K. Yeah, so there's the drift. There's the drift, but we'll recover. Okay, approaching the top. We've got to speed up before we get too far back. And now we'll get back up in a position. 18K to go. 18K to go. Now, because of that little climb, to have a sprinter with anything left, there's got to be a big lead-out group ahead of them and going very late and not as early as normal. This is not a regular sprint, so we are absolutely waiting a little bit longer this time. And who do I want? Pick roll. No, Vasilevsky. Gel up now. Okay, here's a little bit of a false flat section. I definitely don't want to form my train up yet while we're still making our way up this little hill. But when we crest, I think that's going to be our time, because there's a little descent right after, and it'll give us enough time to get up in position. 8.5K to go. Here's the corner. There's the top. All right. 8K. Really leaving it till late, but Vasilevsky already on the gel. And free slam. Gel. Harasim, probably the guy, as Shaw, just in case at the end. The little bonus rider. It's only 8K anyway, right? So Vasilevsky, go forward, find some space. There you go, but don't go a 99. Give me about a 97. Stay to the right-hand side. And now we descend. Now he can go 99 also. Gels. A little further back for Abdullah. 5K. So now G. Oh, and we moved to the middle. Vasilevsky. That's not what I wanted you to do, bud. 4K. Okay, on to Free Salam, and we're already coming up on it. Like, here it is. Here's the hill. There's already just 3K, but we've only gone through a single rider. But how well can these guys hold up? Ultimate pace is what we want to be able to try to maintain and be able to have just this solid tempo. Free Salam. Pretty punchy. He's going to hurt his teammates.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with
he's got us out front. 1.5. What's his sprint pace like? Not good enough. On a pick roll. It's already 1.3. Yeah, there's no waiting. There's no waiting. Pick roll. Sprinting. Abdullah sprinting, and this is where I was hoping to be able to do something, and it looks like we're not going to be able to catch or overtake these guys. The lead out at the top, Blackmore let out Skilmoza. They're going to get a 1-2. We're going to be well placed though. Pickroll's going to get beat to the line though for third, so no bonus seconds. Milan, there's your proper sprinter coming along. Pickroll, decently set up. I mean, these guys are in good position. No splits, no time losses, but not a win. One other team, well set. Milan is on their team. So that was a 1-2-3 finish. We were well placed. They were well placed. They were stronger. Both of us dominated the race, but the stronger team, the deserving team, got the victory in the end. Last time, we were well placed and nobody else was, and we were able to go take a 1-2. This time around, there was two teams, and the better team got the victory. Pretty simple, that. Inside the final 10K on stage number 4, on pause real quick so I can let you know what we're doing here. I'm going to try something a little different. A little micromanagement. Might involve more pausing, but will be brief. So, Vasilevsky and Harasim, two sprinters with positive race day condition. By the way, we have a positive race day condition for the first time. Day 1 had a neutral. It was an exact 0. Day 2, or stage 3, we had a negative. We were about a -6 from where we should have been, but it wasn't in places that hurt us too much. Today, well, it's a slight positive. We've got a little bit higher than what we're supposed to have, maybe a +2, +3, but the sprinters are all looking pretty good. So I have more than 2 options, and instead of just having those guys go early, especially with a wide road here, I figured I can start getting the train moving a little bit later, expend a little less energy, have it be a little bit shorter, and meanwhile Vasilevsky and Harasim, the not chosen sprinters, are going to follow 2 other trains and follow their sprinters and basically give us 3 chances to win. 1 from our train and 2 from other trains. Might as well. So Free Salam is behind his teammates and going backwards, so that did not help things. But he is going to come forward now, rolling down to a 97, give him a little bit longer to try to get up there. They come back across the road though. 6K on to Abdullah, and we'll do about a 98 for him. Gel for Lind. Follow. These guys are doing okay so far. Here's the only hill of the day. Abdullah still doing the work for now. Let's follow a little bit longer, 3.9, so we start to accelerate. Final gels. Abdullah, again, switch to a follow mode. And G does not have enough pace here, 2.5. Let's start his sprint. It's a slight downhill. Lind. Oh, I forgot Harasim and Vasilevsky. It's way too late for them. Lind. Great lead out, but where is everybody else? There's Shaw. I don't even see Pickrell's way back here on the right. So on to Shaw, 800 meters. He's got a decent chance, especially with a +5. He's got an extra 11 to his stamina and resistance, but he's not very well placed now, and it's time for, well, everyone to sprint. Shaw's definitely in the best place, though. Vasilevsky and Harasim did not get as well placed. Pickrell really blew this one for us, but Shaw might just have a shot at this, but it depends on these 6 guys ahead of Milan. half a bike length behind and way faster. Koish is also going to be faster when you add the +4 anyway. Otherwise, same. Jakobsen is likewise. Tali and Groves, Maginoti, yeah, all 6 of those guys are properly fast. They're all at least as fast as Shaw, and even though Shaw has a +3 today, they all have +4. So the only thing we can hope for is that they all started sprinting a little too early, and at 800 meters, Shaw has a chance to get there first, and the answer is very much no. No, he's not going to beat any of the 6. In fact, Philipsen, wherever he came from, beat us as well. Lind beat Shaw to the finish line. Maginoti takes the win ahead of Dali and Groves, and that's the nature of the beast of sprints right now. These guys are all as strong and stronger, and then you add the pluses to theirs. And so even when we have a +5 race day condition, we're still not on the same level as them, which is why you have to outsmart the AI. But when the AI is all versus you, whatever tweak they did to these sprints is so hard to win a pure sprint. That little hill on the way was not enough. This was one of those 7 where I looked at the profile and said, no way. No way. And we were right there, right in the thick of things, and got our butts handed to us. We cracked the top 10, I think, but only just with an 8, 9, 10 finish. Too many quick men. There's other quick ones in the field too, and we beat some of them, but too many of them were well placed. We are picking up sponsor offers right now, but it's a terrible time for these sponsor offers to be coming in, because all the work we're doing at the moment at a very high profile race where we've claimed victory already and we'll see a massive boost, that doesn't come until the end of the race. Does not come until the race is done and dusted, and then they'll go, oh wow, you won a stage at the Giro 3 weeks ago. But they don't notice that it was 3 weeks ago. They act like it just happened, and they have not realized that we've won a stage as of yet. It has not acknowledged that. And so right now, our profile is very bare bones. Yes, we've snowballed once, but we have not claimed a bunch of victories this season. We're scoring points decently, but it's not enough. It is not enough. We are like 6th in the team classification, or 8th in the team classification, whatever it is. It hasn't been a fantastic start to the season. And yeah, it's a decent amount of points, and we're only 1,000 away from being 4th. A good race, a good tour now can absolutely see us bump up a long ways, but we're not going to score much at the end of it. It's going to take multiple stage victories if we're going to see a significant boost. But right now, there's going to be teams up here that aren't going to be securing a lot of points, and we'll outscore them and move up a bit. But for the moment, Vacek is 20th in the individual rankings, and Edvin Haglund has fallen off the planet. But the thing is, the team rankings are based on this calendar year. They start fresh at the beginning of the year, they wrap up at the end of the year, and you have a new year cycle. The individual rankings do not. They are a rolling door, 12-month revolving ranking. Yes, it's May. Yes, we are 4 months into the season. Haglund has wiped out 4 months of points and replaced them with virtually nothing. He's gone from 8th way down to 23rd in that revolving cycle. And a majority of the points he has right now are still leftover. 745 points from last year's La Vuelta, 640 from Il Lombardia, 340 from the Tour de France. In other news, Christopher Young started the season at 3 stars. He very quickly, very early in the year, added a half star, overtook Sella, and became one of 2 guys at 3.5 stars. Everybody else's 4 stars or better. Well, Christopher Young just leveled up again. Is now 4 stars overall. He is developing rapidly. He's very much developing in just a single way. He's got a 76 sprint, 73 stamina, 75 resistance, nothing else to go with it. A 69 acceleration is part of that sprint, but he is far from being great at this point. He'll have really good top speed, but he's going to have to really fill out to be very competitive. Otherwise, he's going to look a lot like Shaw, who is a little bit weaker as a climber, but pretty well filled out at this stage and struggles. Only 2 victories. We are still a Continental Pro team that is still significantly weaker than all the other teams. The way that I find success is by teaming them to death. Or essentially having depth. We can't get the high end. We can't afford them. We can't attract them to the team, or we haven't snowballed them in as an option. We lose guys like Hagland to finances. But the way I stay competitive is that we're not dominated by a Kevin Lind or an Aiden Shaw or Vatsek since signing with us. We are dominated by the 7 guys who ride the same profile that aren't as good but are good and are better than the domestiques, or we use them better than the domestiques of the other teams. We make up for what they do, for their strengths, for the individual power of one rider by taking a difficult finish and, with use of a team, eclipsing what that individual was doing on their way to the finish line, making it too tough for them, too hard for them, and being able to outdo it. That's how we won stage 1, and that's how we win on a regular basis here, despite having a team that has no business claiming victories. There's not a single rider on this roster that should be winning races. We're not winning many right now, especially without Hagland. The key and how we continually get that win from time to time is overwhelming them through team effort. And that is why having only a single 3.5 star guy on the roster is where we've gotten so good. We are very deep with support. Salah, the only reason why he didn't get there was we signed him to a 3-year deal. He was a 5-star prospect, and they nerfed him year 1 right after we signed him down to a 3.5 star prospect. He hit that 3.5 stars almost right away, and that's why we never see Salah in races, because he was a bust. Still 1 more year before I can let him go. This is year 2 since that happened. Panamar's another one who was a bust. We've had other riders who were a bust. Zipinati's just maxed out and done what he can, and both of those guys, or Zipinati at least, has an expiring contract and will not be renewed this year. So we've got a couple guys that we're definitely going to be letting go of. Derek G. hurts to do it, but we're going to be letting him go. He's done so much for us. You can never write him off. He's been a fantastic rider. A lot of people freaked out when I first signed him, but now at 32, he's getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and keeping him around is just not going to be worth our while. And we'll absolutely miss him, though. He's been a fun rider to have on the team. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. We are through, 3 stages or 4 stages of the Giro. We've got 9 more to play, so a few episodes to go. That's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.